So let's jump into some Wisconsin-specific politics. Your senator on Sunday, Ron Johnson, on Fox News said that Nancy Pelosi was somehow involved in the insurrection, and that's why Democrats were pursuing impeachment. What do you say about the latest Ron Johnson comment?
Ron Johnson is a geyser of misinformation and propaganda. And the defeat of Donald Trump hasn't changed that one iota. He seems to be getting worse. This is someone who should not have the megaphone of a United States Senate seat, because all he does is make people think things that aren't true and feed sedition and conspiracy theories. The same appearance where he was speculating that maybe Nancy Pelosi had something to do with the insurrection that he helped to incite. He was also complaining that the misinformation about COVID that he spread through a Senate hearing was taken down from YouTube because it was so dangerous. This is somebody who simply is grounded in nothing except for his own power, his own link to voters that he thinks will follow him if he does whatever he can to cover for Trump. Johnson, unfortunately, just is not tethered to reality or truth or integrity or any of the things that guide most of our lives in this country across party, and that's a real threat to the country. I think he should resign. It doesn't seem like he's going to. He's speculating openly about whether he'll run for re-election again or not. If he does re-election, we're going to make absolutely sure that it's the end of his political career.
Yeah. So tell me specifically. I know you have a campaign to oust Ron Johnson, but what are Wisconsin Dems doing specifically to further that end?
I would say the three things are organizing, outreach, and communication. So organizing, we have a model based on the Obama model of neighborhood teams, local teams of organizers and volunteers in hundreds of communities across the state, and many in our larger communities, that organize constant rounds of direct voter contact and listening to voters about what they care about. And we'll be organizing continuously for these next 2 years. The second thing is reaching out to folks that aren't necessarily already in the fold for Democrats. And that includes really intentional work in communities of color in Wisconsin, and in the Black community, Latino community, the Hmong community, which is significant in Wisconsin, tribal nations, also in rural areas where Democrats are the constant target for right-wing propaganda with right-wing radio and Fox News on at every local bar. It is critical that Democrats show up and actually ask people for their vote and listen to them and hear about their concerns. And the third piece is communicating. We actually ran the first TV ad of the 2022 election cycle, targeting Ron Johnson after the sedition, after the insurrection, and showing how linked to it he was. We're not going to stop. There's a surprising number of Wisconsinites who actually don't have an opinion about Ron Johnson yet, just because they haven't heard about the terrible things that he's done and said. And we're going to make sure they are fully informed about how poorly they are currently represented in the United States Senate, so that by the time election day rolls around, even if he tries to back up the truck with a huge volley of lies and smears and disinformation to try to recoup his losses, we will already have won this election.